I used to live in an unnoteworthy, simple neighborhood right in the center of a regular old town. Most of the families living around there had been there for years, if not decades. I was in the same boat, having grown up there, and had the house handed down from my parents when they moved away. This was in my 3rd year living in that house. At some point during the fall, a new neighbor moved into one of the houses across the street from mine. I wasn't the type to go introduce myself or anything like that, but I saw him moving his stuff out of a U-Haul, and he looked like any other ordinary guy. A week after he moved in went by with nothing else to note, until one night I got home from work and saw the guy standing outside my home. I recognized him right away, seeing it was the new neighbor, but he didn't seem to be walking by or walking up to my house, just standing on the sidewalk, looking at it.
What the f?
I pulled into the garage and got out to go say hi and see what was going on, but in the 20 seconds it took me to get out, he was already gone. He must have hurried away. I found it really unusual, but didn't think too much about it. I had tomorrow off as well, so if he was just stopping by to say hello or ask me something, I'd at least be home to answer the door. I went about my night, and kind of surprisingly, I forgot about the guy really quickly. He didn't even cross my mind again until morning. While I was outside grabbing the mail, I just happened to look across the street at his house for a second. Didn't look like anything was going on, no lights on or anything. Though just before I looked away, I caught a glimpse of something move in the upstairs window. I did a double take, but all that was left were the blinds, shifting back and forth, like he'd just been standing there, maybe watching me. I got a little unsettled, but I got my mail and went back inside. Could have been a coincidence, or him just scoping out the new neighborhood. I tried to not worry myself. I spent the day doing chores I'd been putting off, then just chilling, watching Netflix, YouTube, all the regular stuff. I did occasionally peek out the windows, just to see if he was out there. Sort of a gut feeling I kept having, that I was being watched. Every time I looked though, I didn't see anything. Once the sun set, I thought surely I was good for the night, but I did one more look out the window, and that's when I saw him again. He was standing at the end of my driveway.
Nah, where the knocks at? Where the knocks at? Where the knocks? Ah, f***. Nah, where the knocks at? Where the guns at? Where the guns at? Where the knocks at? No. I got scissors, that's good enough.
I don't know what it was about the way he was standing, but for some reason I was sure he'd just come from the top of my driveway, like he was close up to my house just a moment ago. I went to the front door and opened it, walking out toward him. I wasn't trying to come off as angry. If anything, I think I was being too friendly. I just wanted to ask him what was up and make sure everything was cool. But as soon as he saw me, he started walking down the sidewalk, pretending like he was just going for a stroll around the neighborhood. I called out a couple times, only to be ignored. So once I got halfway down the driveway and realized he wasn't going to turn around, I just gave up and went back inside.
No, that's the thing, you stupid, gang. Follow that nigga. Bro, what? Yo, nigga do that to me, I'ma be like, yo, what's up? You see these tattoos on my body? I don't really like that. Come try me, nigga. Come try me. I got tattoos on my body everywhere, nigga. Come try me. A person is literally stalking you since he moved into the house. The nigga looks strange already. He looks weird. You're not gonna do nothing? What the hell?
Really sketched out and went back inside.
Are you dumb?
Now I was really sketched out.
Gang, you're not safe, gang. You're not safe. You're not safe. What the fuck? What are you doing?
I thought I had to be missing something. New name.
Just bring the switch. Facts! Where the switch at? Where the switch at? Where the ARPs like that? Where the switch at, gang?
Neighbor guy, constantly looking at my house and even caught staring at me from his window. It was all so creepy and happening for seemingly no reason at all. I stayed up for another couple hours. I saw nothing else, but I still didn't feel great when I went to bed. Took a while to fall asleep, still with that aching gut feeling that I was being watched. I don't know how, but I did manage to pass out at some point. Although I woke up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. My whole body sat up quickly, and I felt incredibly uncomfortable, like something was going on. Yet, the whole house was silent. I was so awake though, eyes wide open, and heart beating rapidly. I turned the lamp on next to me and looked around. Everything seemed okay. The room was quiet, and it honestly looked like nothing was happening. But that sinking gut feeling that I was being watched still remained, still pressuring me to not write this off as nothing. I got out of bed and went up to the door. I reached out to open it, but in the act of unlocking it, I had this feeling that what I was doing was wrong, that maybe I shouldn't just unlock it and look around. So I left it locked and instead put my ear up to the door. After a moment, I could hear soft creaks in the hallway. Wasn't sure if it was the house or something else, so I knelt down and looked under the door. The lights weren't on out there, but I saw nothing on the other side of the door. I stayed knelt down for a few seconds, and then something suddenly moved past me. I jumped back, trying not to make a sound. The creaking instantly stopped. He heard me. After a moment of hesitation, several loud footsteps moved along the floor and right up to the other side of the room. I was still in shock, trying to be as quiet as possible, sitting up against the front of my bed. I could see the shadow of his boots under the door. They started shifting around, and then suddenly I couldn't see anything. The whole bottom of the door was covered up by something. I leaned a bit closer. It took a second to make out what it was, but just barely. I saw an eye looking back at me. He was looking under the door. I jumped up, ran around, and got my phone. My hands were shaking so badly, it was difficult to dial 911.
Bro, what do you mean? What do you mean I ran around to get my phone? What do you mean? Get a weapon. Get your phone and fight the fight. What? What? What's good? What are the cops gonna do? The guy's under your door. He's here. What are the cops gonna do? NYPD gang.
I could hear him moving around outside the room too, thumping on the floor. It seemed that by the time the police were on the way, and I was done with the phone call, he was gone. The whole house was quiet again. I didn't risk checking around though, just in case he was hiding. When cops arrived, they found the house to be empty. I immediately told them my suspicions of the neighbor across the street from me. They went over and talked to him. It was clear he'd been awake for a while when he answered the door, despite it being 2 a.m. Apparently, one thing came to another, and the guy blew his cover, accidentally admitting to something he shouldn't have known. They took him in and were able to get the full story out of him, confirming he was the one that broke into my home that night. And he'd been watching me for a lot longer than I was aware of. It wasn't clear how he even found me, or even why me in general, as we had never even met before. Cops found his search history, having my name in it, several times over the course of the last month, even prior to him moving to the neighborhood. There's a chance he even made the move, specifically to be right across from me. He had some other similar, weird stalking cases in the past, so they didn't let him off easy. Shouldn't have to worry about him for a long time, but I still haven't gone a day without thinking about it. It really sucks not having all the answers that I want. He must have broken into my home that night for a reason other than to just stalk me. I think he had some horrible intentions, and I was lucky my gut feeling kept me from opening my door.